I welcome you if you've come here to hang with me. I'm having some coffee. And this is my second live painting. The first one was kind of a trial and error. I wanted to see how it went. It was kind of weird and awkward for me, to be honest, but I got through it. If you saw my Instagram or Facebook post, I have a Patreon set up. I'm just trying to connect my socials to it. It's given me a bit of an issue, which is really not surprising for me in technology, but it's all right. Once I get that set up, though, it'll be connected, and then I'll be doing these every 18th of the month. Yeah, so it can be offered there for the Patreon members can come watch early, obviously, when I first set up for everything. My goal in these is to, number one, give you guys something maybe just chill and comfortable to watch. And two, hopefully maybe help out a little bit. If there's anything you see or that I say while I'm painting that could help you with your art or give you, spark a new idea or something, then that's what I aim to do. So if there are any questions or comments, I will be, if I have time at the end, I will take a few minutes to look over those and answer anybody, if there's anybody there. So let's get started. Hope you guys are having a great day. You can see I'm doing the stained glass cat. I love stained glass, I always have, but being able to create it lately, paint it, tattoo it, has been extra awesome. I love being able to make it look 3D like stained glass and shiny and all that. If you do follow me on my socials, you'll know that I recently finished this tattoo, the same cat stained glass tattoo, on my lovely friend Mel. And I am going to be doing more with it, but I wanted to paint and show maybe a little bit also my tattoo, the way that I tattoo this cat and this style, and is pretty similar to how I'm gonna paint it. Not exact, but it'll kind of give you a little correlation. Anyways, here we go. I did the background and everything the other day just to get it all ready so I could focus on the cat. In this piece, you'll see that all the parts that are black are not necessarily totally black. They have different gradients to them, some grays and things that might just look black when you glance at it, but if you isolate the colors you have in that area and really look at what you're working with, you'll see that a lot of the times it's just, there's only real true black in certain areas, and everything else is a gradient of it. So I'm doing all the black first. I'm getting that laid out, so. I'm painting with watercolor and acrylic inks, if you're wondering. Acrylic inks are similar to watercolor. They are liquid. They flow similar to me. I like to use both within each other, just depending on what colors they provide. and you know, how they flow. I'd like to know what you guys are up to this morning, if you feel like sharing. Got my back door open. The sunrise. I got to see a really cool moth this morning when I was out there. It was like, well, I have videos and pictures of it. I'll post later, but his body was fluffy yellow, like very similar to this yellow. Not metallic, of course, but really cool, in a red body with 2 white spots on his wings. I feel like I got a video of the caterpillar of that guy a couple weeks ago. Or, I mean, at least the same species. I don't know if it's like the same moth, but you know what I mean. I have quite a few stained glass pieces I'm working on right now, so I am excited to show and share those with you guys. I'll be doing another tattoo at the Palm Beach Tattoo and Oddities Expo in West Palm Beach this weekend. So if you guys are down that way and you want to come say hi, please do. It's at the Convention Center in West Palm Beach. I know it's pretty early. I live in Florida, as most of you know, and so some of you guys are way earlier if you're on the West Coast to be able to check it out over here. This is not the normal time that I'll be doing these live paintings. This is just getting ready for the convention and family visiting and everything else I have going on. This was the only time today that I had, so I will be doing these at a more reasonable time to where you guys can be able to join without having to wake up before God, you know. Like, bro, Earth ain't even alive yet. Go back to sleep. And as for mostly all paintings and artwork, you have a point of light reference, right? So as this is kind of lit up within itself, because I believe it's a lamp, there's still a light reference that is coming from this direction over here. So what does that mean? That means that any of your shadows, obviously the darker parts are going to be from this way, or if light is shining this way, you're gonna have a darker shadow coming off this way, which that's what's gonna show the depth in the veins that are in between the panes of glass right there. That's what you're gonna have, is the light. Like I said, it looks like it's all black, but it's not. It's gradients of black, and then there's some hues of blue in there, and whatever the highlight is takes on tones of different colors. But to show that shadowed black side, solid black. To show the highlighted side that has the shine on it, that's black, you do like, there's a gray tone, a few gray tones, and you can even use a bit of a white highlight depending on how close to the light it actually is, if that makes sense. Sometimes these just black parts I would do with a marker, but right now I'm doing these with my brush, and then I will probably use the marker later to crispen up and darken up any areas. I just want to kind of lay it in right now to where everything is for this part. So, because each one of these tiny veins actually has like a lot of edging to it, right? It might only be a millimeter or less in width, but in that little area, depending on how big your painting is, of course, it's going to be at least 2 or 3 different tones just in that millimeter of an area. So I highly doubt I'll finish this today with the time that I have allotted, but we'll get a good bit done. And so you can at least, I think, see the gist of what's going on over here. I do love coffee in the morning. Y'all drink coffee or tea or what? What do you like for your morning drinks? I like tea sometimes too, but just something about a fresh pot of coffee in the morning, even just smelling it, not even drinking it. Shit smells good. Can you see how shiny the background is? So that's because I use Finetech or Phonetic. I think it's Finetech, but I've never actually heard anybody pronounce it. But I think it's kind of clever if it's pronounced phonetic, you know? But anyways, this is what I use for my golds if I'm not using gold leaf. And it is super dope and I love it and it looks great. But just a heads up, when you're using acrylic inks or any kind of watercolor, when you do, like say I go over, see part of the lines here, have some of it over it. If I just run this over that one time, usually it doesn't cover up the shine, okay? So usually you have to go back over it with a marker or even maybe a thinned out actual acrylic paint to just cover up that shine to make it solid black for that area that you're doing. So it does tend to do that, which is not a big deal, but just giving you a heads up. It doesn't cover as easy as you would think, even with black. Them little shiny parts come through really nice, so. It's crazy. This little part here, you probably can't see it in the reference. So, right, the shine is coming from this way, so this is the shadow. This little lip on here barely has a tinge of gray. Is it a gray? It's like a grayish yellow, almost like a deep yellow ochre. That is the highlight for that, right? So you wouldn't think that. You would just think, oh, it's black back there. But if you actually look at the picture, the bit of, I don't want to say highlight because it's in the shadowed area, but that's shining off like the backlight. I don't know if that makes sense. Probably not. Anyway, when you isolate those colors, it looks like a deep yellow ochre. And it's not like a white highlight, so pay attention to that stuff too. It's not always gonna be, oh, because it's a highlight, it's, you know, this color. There's lots of colors that can make highlights depending on what you're doing and what's reflecting off of it, which, if you're an artist, I'm sure you know that, but. If I stumble over my words, I'm gonna apologize in advance. I do that anyway, I think. I'm trying to talk too fast, but I got like 0 sleep last night. Not 0, maybe like 2 hours or 3 hours. Did you guys have trouble sleeping last night? It's been kind of weird lately for sleep, but bro, I was like wide awake all night. I think I started to maybe fall asleep around like 3:30 in the morning, which it usually goes the opposite, right? I usually wake up around that time if I do wake up in the middle of the night, but I had weird ass dreams of fucking palmetto bugs and shit, so. To the dream interpretation site today, I will be checking that out. Something about cleansing, excuse me. But I didn't really get to look into it too much. Definitely been doing some cleansing lately. We just had a full moon recently, which is all about that release and letting go the old so the new can come in. Hopefully you guys are releasing what no longer serves you. I've been working on that myself. Things that were keeping me distracted. more, you know what? For me, it's not even the distraction. It's like, it's me overthinking stuff. That's like my main freeze in life. It's when I freeze the most. It's like, you know, I've kind of been a lone wolf most of my life. And not that I don't have friends and family and stuff, but, you know, it's kind of just been me. When that happens, and from some childhood things, traumas and other whatever situations and stuff you deal with, I tend to overthink things that I had to grow up quickly. So I'm trying to mix and hybrid that to where I take time to make decisions, but I also don't take too long to act, if that makes sense. Try to balance that part out, being a Libra. Fuck's sake, I swear that's all I do. Am I balanced? Am I balanced? Am I balanced? Yeah. If you've never been here before, welcome. If you've not seen any of my videos or channel stuff or anything, you have no idea what's going on, you see all these butterflies and tattoos and different shit on my channel, well, that's what it's here for, just to help share, maybe comfort. I read energies, and I used to do readings for people, private readings. As of now, I don't offer those, but I am going to be doing a new video every Monday of reading the energies, or just anything I feel like I need to share that might help, that I've been through or I'm still working through. Like the other day, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. What's today? Wednesday? It had to be Monday, right? Yeah. So 2 days ago, I just did a video trying to share like how to forgive people that have done some probably horrendous things to you. And you might be thinking, Lindsay, man, fuck them. I ain't forgiving shit. I ain't I ain't letting that slide. Like, no respect for me. Fuck them. I hope they die. I mean, some of y'all might be like, there's some awful things that people do to each other out here. But I need to make the point of and reiterate that forgiveness is not for them. You don't even have to talk to them. You can still be over here like, yeah, man, fuck them, right? But you can let it go. That'll be the first step. Keeping the boundaries. You don't have to talk to the person to let them go, to release what they did to you. The only point of that is, the main point of that is, if you don't want to reconcile, if they've not tried to make things better, if they've not, you know, whatever it is, if it was just too horrendous to even move past, you don't forgive them thinking that what they did was okay. That is not the point at all. Remember, these are energies that we carry around, and they start to manifest in our bodies as different pains, attitude issues, anger issues, addictions, all kinds of stuff that it manifests into if you're holding on to these type of energies that are detrimental to your health, okay? Those energies are coming from these people that hurt you and whatever shit they were holding on to. So whatever abuse you endured from them, they're just passing that down to you now, from what they went through, because they don't know any better. And yeah, not your fault, but it is your responsibility to not take that on and to not pass that on to your loved ones around you, right? Be the bigger man, be the bigger woman. The forgiveness, like I said, is not for them, it's for you. It's so you're not carrying around all that hate and anger that they're carrying around, handing it off to you, abusing you, treating you less than you deserved, and you knew it and you know it. And you just have to go in those situations and sit down with it, and you know, when you're ready to, okay, don't force it, but when you're ready to, there is a time and place to release that stuff and to let it go. It just means you're not going to let it fuck up your life or control how you feel anymore. What is that doing? You're holding on to their shit. Most of them, you know, if they're set in their abusive, narcissistic, whatever ways, they're not going to acknowledge it. They're not going to move past it, right? So that's cool. They can stay over there in their angry, fucking shitty ass world that they're in, hating themselves. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So if I'm over here just every day, you know, watching negative stuff and sitting around thinking about how everybody did me wrong and wanting to blame everybody, guys, you're not going to get anywhere in life. And you're going to realize that that anger or that whatever you're holding on to for that person is going to draw more of those type of people towards you, because that's still the type of energy that you're keeping within. Does that make sense? So just for you, for your health, for your own sanity, please try to let go of stuff like that. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. Some of it doesn't take long at all. If it's smaller issues or little things that you didn't even realize, you're like, oh damn, I didn't even acknowledge, like, see that was affecting me in any type of way. Sometimes it'll come up as like an epiphany, like a oh shit aha moment. You'd be like, well damn, that's how I was feeling about that, and then you just correct it. Right? As soon as you usually acknowledge stuff like that, the smaller stuff, it will go away immediately. Because as I said, it's more of a website running in the background type shit, or an app running in the background, to where you don't even realize it's there, because it's not, you know, heavily affecting what you're doing. But once you realize it, you can see all the little ways that it was affecting you. Maybe you didn't go for that job that you wanted because you weren't confident enough, because some asshole said some shit to you when you were 4 that made you feel like shit, and you've been carrying it around your whole life. Well, that ain't fucking cool. And that ain't yours to carry, my love. So please put it down. This is your permission. Dragon Queen is giving you permission today. I'd be your boss just right now today. To tell you to let it go. Please put it down. Your little one inside you, your tiny childhood version of yourself that's in there, will greatly thank you and appreciate you, because it's just hurting you. It's still hurting you if you're holding on to it. And then that's a type of control that they still have over you, and they don't have to know it. It's an energetical control. They don't have to know shit about what's going on with you. But please know that they still have some type of control over your life if you're letting it get to you and holding on to it. Like, where was I at? What was I doing? All right, that's the outside of the nose. All right, so this is black and that's black. As long as I've been doing this, doing readings, energetical readings, working on myself, trying to heal any childhood trauma or relationship trauma, any trauma that I've had, not even including from other people. This could be stuff I've inflicted on myself. You know what I mean? It takes time. It is worth it. I'm definitely, man, I think back to some of the ways I used to react to people back in the day. I even had a situation yesterday. I'm pretty proud of myself. It was just highly uncalled for rudeness. And to somebody that had never met me, didn't know me, I stopped to help my friend out real quick. And they felt they needed to come out and interject because this person was my friend's mother. With all respect for her, it's fine, you know. I don't know her just as a person, but she came out there, you know, just saying some shit about the parking. It doesn't matter what it was. It was remedial and very minuscule. But the attitude that she had when she came out there, like, girl, you don't know me. You know, woman, sorry, not girl, but woman, you don't know me. Like, but I didn't react to her. I just let her know I understood what she was saying, but that what I was doing was not an issue. There was nobody getting ready to tow my car or wait on me. I literally still had my car running. I stopped real fast, standing by the car to help my friend with his window because it had fell down, right? No big deal. Well, she came out there, not yelling or anything, but, you know, man, when they got that face on, bruh, I don't even want to see that face. Just an attitude-ass face. Come out there trying to say some shit to me. And the way I look, I get it. Ooh, Trooper's awake. I have to go get him for you guys. So I have to go put him on his flower. So in a minute, you have to excuse me. Trooper's my pet butterfly. So we could talk about him later, but I have videos of him on my channel. Anyway, I'm proud of myself because back in the day, what would I have done? Probably came out my ass and talked out my ass and, you know, got into a fight with her, or at least a verbal argument or something, and pulled myself out of my center and my peace because she got some anger issues or whatever she got going on with her, trying to tell somebody else what to do. You know what I mean? So all I did was dismiss myself from the situation. Like, no, this isn't for me. You know, I addressed what she was saying, and that was it. I removed myself from the situation because I really don't got time for the bullshit or the drama. So pause, please. Let me go get Trooper real fast. I'll let y'all say hello, and then I have to put him outside on his flower. So just give me about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Shit, and reheat my coffee in the meantime. Good morning, sweet boy. Hi. Come here. Yeah, I swear he's like a little puppy dog. Oh, yeah, he's definitely hungry. I'll show you real fast. There he is. Good morning, Trooper. All right, I'm gonna go put him on the flower so he can eat. I'll be back. Hi, baby. Good morning. Good morning, love bud. I know. Oh. Come on. Right. My coffee, and I'll be back. All right. Well, you got to see Mr. Trooper. I love that kid. He's so cool. Like, I couldn't tell you the type of personality or how much personality he has as being a butterfly. He's been alive since last Sunday. Excuse me, so 10 days I've had him. We have a routine that we do. In the morning, I take him out to his flowers so he can eat, or I'll give him the honey nectar water that I made for him. He eats both throughout the day. 33 on the time as I say that. All right. But he eats both throughout the day. I'll feed him usually around 5 times a day he eats. He has his little fly time. His wings are wrinkled. They did not fill with fluid when he was born, when he emerged. So they are wrinkled and he cannot fly. However, he does flap them little bastards like he is in a marathon. So I call that his little fly time. It seems like he thinks he's flying. And I put him in a soft area to where he's not gonna fall and hurt himself. Let him crawl on my blankets, on the couch, and just watch him. And we'll do that. He'll have his little fly time for about 20 minutes or so usually. And then after that, he'll usually need to rest or sometimes to eat, depending on if he ate prior to his little fly time or not. And then if he does need rest, I'll go set him in I have a little aquarium for him I have set up, or I'll set him back outside on a flower just to get some sun and to be warm. So, like I said, I am attending the Palm Beach Tattoo Expo this weekend, and I will be taking Trooper with me because there's nobody here to take care of him. So, not that I would really trust anybody at this point. Like I said, me and him have our own little routine. It's like he knows when I stick my hand down there to get so he can climb up on them. Like, he knows immediately. It's really cool. Sometimes I'll even feed him with my hand. So the nectar water, and this is all no perfume, no nothing. I make sure my hands are clean. But the nectar water, then sometimes I will, usually I put it on a paper towel for him or in just a little dish to where he can drink out of it, excuse me. They don't eat, they drink. And so you know how you dip your fingers in any type of liquid, right? And there's usually like a drip on the end of your finger. So he loves to drink from that little water droplet of honey nectar that's on my finger. Even so much sometimes that I tried to, I was doing it one time and I tried to pull it away to get more nectar on it. And he, like, with his little foot, his little insect foot, I don't know what those are actually called, but he, like, grabbed me. You know how a baby grabs your hands when you try to take the bottle away? He totally did that. He grabbed my hand, or my finger, sorry, with his one little foots. And it was just the cutest thing ever. I'm doing a journal on him and writing down some things. I never would have thought butterflies could have this type of little personalities, and he's just cool as shit. I call him Trooper because he is. He's made it through quite a bit. And he's still kicking and seems to be enjoying his life. So I'm just doing the best I can. I tried to save other damaged butterflies, but they didn't make it, unfortunately. So this guy's he's fucking killing it. Like, Lindsay, what are you doing? Well, I accidentally put a little speckle in the eye there. So I'm gonna lift it with a little bit of water and then just to lighten it. And then once I go back in there with the color, it'll be fine and blend out. Even though there's a highlight there, it'll still be good, but I just had to lighten that up just a little bit. But don't worry, it'll be fine once I go back to actually color it. So tattooing and painting stained glass is pretty slow moving and a little bit tedious, but it is very rewarding to see the end product. The tattoo I did on Mel was only about, I think it was a little smaller than this. If not, it was this size, but maybe a bit smaller. It might be this, a little bit smaller. Anyway, it took me 4 hours to tattoo it. So just to give you an idea, it's not a quick moving thing. Though once you get the hang of it and you understand the rules of doing stained glass, then it does become a little easier because you know the basic structure of what you need to do to make it look like stained glass. So that's what I mean by the rules. Not technical rules, but rules, like I said, to make it look like it's supposed to and to stick out. So, and then I will always check on Trooper. He'll usually hang out there for a few hours, or maybe not a few hours, maybe an hour or two on his flower and chill, but I'll check on him every now and then to make sure he didn't fall. I do always put down soft landing areas, so if he does fall, it's not a big deal. He does his flips and he falls on the couch, and sometimes places he shouldn't, a bit harder, but he's fine. You know, it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't seem to hurt him, but I avoid that as much as I can and just keep him on soft areas. So He does his little flippy fly fly times, like I said, but he'll flip around. He does backflips, and lately he's been doing like, they look like ballerina, like pirouettes or something. Because he'll fly and he'll flutter and he'll start to spin, and it up, like he's standing up in a circle, and it's kind of cool looking. But my Bubby passed away in March. My dog that I had for about 10 years, I rescued him. He was a black lab mix. That was my road dog, boy, let me tell you. But he did pass away in March. I miss him so very much. My good friend Bella, my very good friend Bella, so sweetly got me a stained glass picture of him that I have hanging in my window by my bed, and I still talk to him every morning and night. I miss him a lot. But I'm going to be rescuing a new puppy next week. It was an accidental litter, and my friend it's one of my friends wants to make sure that they just all go to a very good home, and so I am excited about that. I'm going to teach him how to be kind to butterflies. So as I'm painting like this, even on some of these super black areas, if I tend to do it totally black and I notice that it might have a highlight on it, what I'll do, because I also use gesso, which usually is like a primer, like a base coat you put down on your canvas or whatever you're working on, just to make it more smooth to work on, right? I use it a lot, actually. It's for acrylic mediums and stuff like that. You're supposed to like paint your canvas with it at first. I actually use it for highlights, and I use it to mix colors and to layer. So any places, like I said, that might not be super black like I wanted them to be, pardon that, take it back, that I think were super black and I painted over where there's supposed to be a highlight, I'll go back in with my gesso later and mix it with some of the black to make it white, because it's a little thicker, and then I'll use that, or use it to make gray, excuse me, and then I'll use that as a highlight. I told you I didn't get much sleep last night. Jesus. Anyway. So anything that I might do as a mistake or whatever, even the eyeball part, if I felt like, you know, I needed to lighten that up, I would do like a gesso kind of wash, and then I would go in with it and just lighten that up and wash over it until I was ready to put my watercolors there. So if you guys have any tips for me, feel free to share. I'm all about learning new things. As good as I am, and as long as I've been taking care of plants. My neighbor shared something with me yesterday that I'd never heard. So I'm gonna try it and see how that works. See if it makes a difference or not. I like doing experiments with things like that. And what he told me, because I usually water my plants in midday when it's hot. I've heard a little bit about that, but not too much, and it's never really been an issue. Like, all my plants are really healthy or whatever. But he said that he read somewhere that it's recommended that you water your plants at night. He waters his plants at around 8 at night when it starts to get darker, so that they can absorb and the sun doesn't evaporate most of the the water that you just put in there, right? I never heard that before. I don't know how that piece of information skipped over my brain, but it happens sometimes. So he's gonna help me water my plants while I'm gone, because they're plant people too. They're awesome neighbors. But yeah, I never heard that before. So we're gonna try that out and see how that works. See how it affects my plants for better or for worse. Probably for better, if that's the recommendation. So, I mean, it does make sense. I just thought because it was hot as fuck outside midday, they'd be like, bro, can you cool us down a little bit? And so that's what I would do. But apparently, I may be mistaken. So, kind of looking forward to see how that works too. I am trying to help the monarch population. That's why I am mess with butterflies at all. Well, besides just loving them, I've been drawn to them since I was younger, and I always loved going to Butterfly World. There's one in Arizona. Funny enough, I tried to volunteer at, and the one lady, I understand, I already know what y'all are gonna say, and it's fine. It wasn't for me, and I just moved along. But this lady literally told me that I couldn't volunteer there. Mind you, volunteering is what? Free, because of the way I looked. Get the fuck out of here, lady. I would almost bet money that it's definitely an insecurity with her because of she had some physical stuff going on. We won't talk about it. There were already some other volunteers there, and I think workers there that had tattoos. They just didn't have as many tattoos as I did. So that was a little humorous to me. I know it's discriminatory. I know it's not right. I know it's whatever. But to be honest, it just kind of made me laugh and like, whatever, dude. Like, just let me move on. But I've also been to Butterfly World here in Florida. And they're both just fucking magical. So anyway, I try to help out with the monarchs. Their numbers are not doing the best. I know that they have OE viruses and stuff that you have to be careful and check out and deal with. So I am ASAP getting a microscope, which is what is necessary to be able to test the butterflies and see if they have the OE virus or not, and whether or not I can release them. So I am working on that. I don't like to do things half-assed, even though that doesn't mean I never have, but I try not to. So in educating myself, if I do actually want to help the monarchs, it's not about, oh, pretty butterflies, look. No, you're going to help the environment or you're not like halvesies, right? So they need to be tested and released if healthy to help, and if not, we're either going to have a quarantine area for them, or unfortunately there is a way to humanely euthanize them, which does not appeal to me, but you know, sometimes decisions like that have to be made. So if you've just joined, good morning, good morning. I appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully I'm making some kind of sense. Chill, have some coffee with me in the morning. And if you know me, you know, even if you don't know me, been on my channel a little bit, you know that I very much enjoy smoking weed. right? And I'm touching on this for a reason. My video I put up the other day about me needing to step up, that was part of it. That's part of my freeze response that I've had too of the overthinking. It's not an excuse. This is what I've realized from trying to be aware and self-aware and what's happening and, you know, what I'm doing that's correlating with things happening in my life. So, I wasn't letting it stop me from doing, as far as like being healthy, working out, playing sports, you know, things like that. No, but when it comes to stuff like even doing a life painting decision making, I'd maybe sit down and smoke and think about it for a fucking hour before I would just get up and go do it. You know what I mean? So, in those ways, as much as I do enjoy it, I do definitely make sure that it doesn't impede me from any other activities or goals or progress or learning or anything that I want to do. So that's why I had to be real with myself the other day. And as much work as I've done, I needed, and probably will always, needing to be tweaked a little bit more. And to be able to show up for you guys and for myself like I'd like to, you know? So I still enjoy smoking. I just don't let it be my whole reason for living. And, you know, just because I enjoy that, that doesn't mean I'm going to do that all day, every day. I also enjoy swimming and laying out by the pool. I'm not going to do that all day, every day, am I? No, because there's plenty of other things that I enjoy to do. And as long as it's not stopping me, then, you know, I'm good. So anyway, just a little adjusting that I've needed to do this week. Could possibly be part of the reason I didn't sleep very well last night, you know. I didn't smoke very much yesterday. Just been working on my biz, getting ready for the convention, which is dope. Got to go see the puppies yesterday. Even more spectacular for me. But yeah. Sometimes you gotta be really fucking honest with yourself. Because for a while I'm like, nah, it's cool, da-da-da. No, I need to moderate. I need to, if it's something I enjoy, then I need to do it in the most responsible way. If I choose to do it, then I can, so. And I know my freeze and fear wasn't just from smoking. I know most of that was from shit, maybe some not being confident about what I'm doing or thinking you guys ain't gonna watch or don't give a fuck or whatever it is, whatever reason I'm trying to give myself to not do it. Because honestly, you know, as long as I have confidence in myself and I feel like I'm adding some type of value to your life, it's irrelevant to me how many people watch or any of that shit. It ain't the numbers for me. I really, really just want to help share what I know, love and light, and there's a lot of fucking grumpy ass people out here, and I don't do well with rudeness. I don't do well with like people that are inconsiderate, and I just don't. I can't stand it. And it's highly unnecessary. So if there's anything I can do to be some kind of a fucking glittery, purple, shiny, bright light for you, then I fucking will. Here we are. I'm thinking it's probably going to take me around 3 or 4 hours to paint this also. I could be wrong. As I said earlier, that's how long it took me, 4 hours to tattoo it. So, shit, I guess we'll see. Like I said, it won't be today that I finish it, but get my good layout going. And if you want, I can finish it on another live video, or if a month away from now is like too fucking far to wait or whatever, you'll forget about it. We could just do a different one. We'll just see how that goes. Or I might feel froggy and just want to finish this motherfucker in the meantime anyway, so. try to be patient with yourself too. If you're an artist, or if you're a newer artist, or if you're trying to learn something new, be patient. You see how this looks now? It doesn't look like shit, right? It looks like a bunch of black, and it doesn't look 3D. It doesn't look like anything. You got to remember that, you guys. It takes time to build up in life and in paintings and drawings. It takes time to build up the picture that you have for yourself, right? So just because it looks like this right now doesn't mean that's how it's always going to look. This is where most people would stop. This is where people start to maybe do a portrait and the person looks like they're fucking cross-eyed and half their face is melted off. Well, it's because you have to keep going. You have to develop it. Don't stop at that point and say, you know, oh, I'm not an artist, or I fucking suck, or whatever it is. No, you don't suck. You just need to give yourself some fucking credit. Give yourself some time to finish what you're doing. Don't rush through it. And sometimes, too, just a little tip that I had to learn, that I keep in the forefront of my mind when I'm doing stuff, especially paintings. You know when you stare at something for so long, and even your face in the mirror, you just stare at it for too long and it starts to look funny, or if you say a word over and over and over and over again, it doesn't sound like a word anymore. That's what happens when you stare at your painting or your drawing too long, and it's like you're overthinking in that moment, and it's come out of your passion and out of your excuse me, your gut and your intuition, and it's gone into you overthinking and overanalyzing what you're doing. You know, I tell you what the solution is? It's very easy. Get up from the table and go do something else for 1 minute or 2 minutes. When you do that, you'll come back and look at your whatever you're working on, and you'll be like, damn, that shit looks pretty good. It's because you've distorted it by staring at it so hard and so long and overthinking it that you fucked up your vision. So I'm sure you do that with your life sometimes. I'm checking on Trooper, he's good. We do that for our lives too. So just make sure you're not over fucking analyzing and overthinking things. And if you think you are, or you feel frustrated with it, step away from it for a minute and come back to it. I do that with problems too. If I have an issue and I feel super overwhelmed and flustered in the moment about it, I don't keep sitting there. Usually, I've learned. I'm not perfect. But I don't keep sitting there and dwelling on it and trying to figure it out and keep thinking about it. And because all it does is get me more frustrated and more worried and more in a bad fucking mood. So when I step away from it for a minute, no, this doesn't mean I don't deal with it. But I need to clear my head for a minute and step away from it and really see the clear picture of what's happening. The solution usually becomes very clear in a much quicker manner than it does in a much less stressful manner when I'm sitting there fucking overthinking the shit. Oh, don't drink the paint water. Pick that up. Yeah, other two very, very good rules. Don't drink the paint water, and don't dip your paintbrush in your coffee cup. All right? What time is it? We got 8:30. Cool. I'll have to wrap it up here in about, maybe about 10 minutes. I have another job I have to work on, but hopefully it was a good first sesh. I'd love to see you guys next month and be back, or even on my Patreon, to where we can do this monthly and we can even chat about subjects you guys might want to hear about. I don't know, my opinion or how to deal with certain negativities in your life or stresses or whatever. And not any part of me is saying that I have the answer, but I will share with you how I deal with stuff and remain, for the most part, in a pretty good mood most of the time. Very rarely will you catch me grumpy unless I'm burnt out or just exhausted. And at those points, I really start to sound delirious and like I can't even speak properly. So, and then my eyes are half open too when that happens. So you'll definitely be able to recognize those times. I try to make it as rare as I can. I really try to rest. As I went to bed at an awesome normal time last night to get some sleep. Yeah, right. I could not get comfortable. Y'all know that restless leg syndrome shit. If you've ever had it, it's quite annoying. It felt like my whole body had like restless body syndrome. But I think it's maybe because my brain is in overdrive from everything I am trying to deal with right now. Not deal with, but handle. The butterflies, Trooper separately, new caterpillars, the plants, the website, new artwork, the convention, new projects, coloring book, you know. The new puppy coming in, getting the backyard ready, 147 things. Doing a lot of it by myself, not all of it. I have lovely help from neighbors. I have an awesome website guy, Patrick. If you guys need a website guy, and I'm telling you, he's super dope. My website is dragonqueen.ink, I-N-K, like tattoo ink. If you want to go check out his magic, what he did there, and some of my stuff, you can go check that out. That'd be awesome. But yeah, he's doing a great job. If you guys need somebody, for real, let me know. I'll pass along the info, and y'all can collaborate on a dope site for yourself. I love how we found the little crystal buttons and the little Witchy House shop cart button at the top. I'm using quotes a lot, don't I? Anyways. But yeah, he's awesome. So absolutely grateful for that. And part of me coming out of any traumas that I did experience is that, excuse me, for a long time I didn't know how to ask for help. I'm still not very good at it. I do a little bit better to like voice my needs and to let people know, you know, what's up. Because as much as I try to help, I'm not perfect, not all the time, but I do try to help when I can. In the past, I've been known to help more than I was trying to help myself. So I had to adjust that too, to make sure that I felt, you know, even, and everything was reciprocal. Just as far as, you know, you give to people sometimes that the reciprocity is just not there. And I mean, you know, friend-wise, I'm not just meaning some random like, hey, somebody helped me one day, so I have to go find them and help them right now. No. You know, if you've always had somebody's back, or you always are there for them and you're doing things and helping out, and they just only seem to come to you when they need something and don't ever ask you how you are genuinely, or whatever, chat with you, or just show an interest, try to help you out, doesn't matter. The reciprocity can come in many different ways. It doesn't have to be tit for tat, but you know, that's one of those people that you're gonna have to let go because they're not respecting your time or yourself. They just take from you. And then when you go to ask them for something, fucking ghost. They're nowhere to be found. So, okay, Lucifer, new subscriber. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hopefully it's a metaphoric name, but yeah, I appreciate you being here. I'm not trying to hate. I just, you know, it's all about love and light over here. That's all I'm saying. But I appreciate you. Thank you. What time we got here? Okay, just a couple more minutes. I am going to look at the, I don't think anybody has commented or said anything, which is totally cool, but I'll check and see. If I need to answer anything for you guys, I will. But if you showed up even for 10 seconds, I appreciate you. You wouldn't believe the time and the getting over any fear of, this seems like, this is what I do, right? So this seems normal and this seems easy. Yep, still had a ton of fear and anxiety about doing it. This morning I didn't, but up until the moment, I was just like freaking out, to be honest with you guys, so. Okay, I think that's a good place to stop. Like I said, I do have to get on my next project for today, but Let's see if y'all said some things or no. Lucifer, hey. Okay, thank you for not taking offense. I mean 0 offense. Mason Man, hi. I appreciate you. Lucifer, I'll be here every 18th of the month, and then I'll have other videos I'll put up in the meantime. So I couldn't thank you guys enough for being here. Thank you so much. Hopefully I said something that helped, or you learned something, or at least you found some comfort in starting your morning with the Dragon Queen. So I love you guys very much. I'll see you next time, and have the best day ever.